Mid-engine squad. It's your boy 214 Fierro guy coming back with a brand new video. So in today's video, we are going to be doing a ride along in the Ford Fusion. Please like, comment, subscribe, and share. Please hit that subscribe button. Please also drop some big fat likes on this video, and also don't forget to hit the hype button for your boy, because we out here working. Y'all already know. So yeah, today we are going to be taking a ride in the Fusion for the first time together. I haven't did a ride along video since the Sonic, and that right there was a few years back. And so now yeah, so now, you know, it's actually time to go ahead and go do another one. Pretty much what this video is just gonna be about today is about, you know, updating the car to my likings, changing some stuff, you know, talking about, you know, some interior parts that's gonna be changed, things like that. So the main thing is I want to make this car mine. So I have a lot that's in plan, and so with the ride along, that's what we're going to be talking about today. All right, y'all. Well, let's go ahead and hit the highway. All right, y'all. All right, y'all. So let's go ahead and hit this highway. Yeah, so I definitely want y'all to let me know on how y'all like my new whip that I had added to my fleet. As far as, you know, what should I do, you know, and everything, in an opinion. More so, this is the reason why I actually got this car. The reason why I actually got this car, because I know me and my wife, we was looking for a car for about 7 to 8 months before we actually decided on what we really wanted and what car we really wanted. And we looked at reviews and things like that to see on what, you know, what was the best option for us, because we was actually not going down the pavement route no more. We actually wanted to actually get something, you know, something regular. So yeah, that right there was like our main deal. We wanted to make sure that we had a car that was dependable when we was paying all this money for it, you know. And so how much was the car? In the last video, if you have not seen my last video, I did talk about that, but I am going to reinstate it again. This car right here was $39.95 out the door. Main thing was me and my wife was looking for something that we can go on trips on, things like that. This ride's pretty much some of the stuff that I said in the last video, but you know, to add to what's going on, we just wanted to find something that was reliable. That right there was our main goal, you know, because I tell you, you know, it's so hard in today's world to find cars that are reliable. And see, it's not about the car, it's about the owner. And if the owner took care of the car, then definitely you're gonna end up getting a well taken care of car. But if the owner did not take care of it, or the dealership that you bought it from did not take care of it, then you're gonna get a bad car. So that right there was our main objective when we was looking for the next car. Sorry about that, y'all. These roads are bad out here in Dallas, really bad. And so, you know, that right there was pretty much the standing vocal point on what we wanted to do when it came down to buying this new car, or however you want to see it. And so our biggest plan was finding something that was great, good gas mileage, and the best thing was lower mileage. Nothing high, nothing 200, 300, 400, something regular, something that we can, you know what I'm saying, we can hold on to for a while, you know, a few years, you know what I'm saying. And so start looking online, start looking at different cars, things like that. We did go look at a few cars, and then we had bought in a car, which was a Ford Focus hatchback. And so I don't think that car was actually right for us, because it was a lot going on with it. We literally spent about $600 on that car, you know what I'm saying, up to the point to where we was trying to get the engine light out, because the engine light stayed on that car, which was, you know what I'm saying. And so we was kind of upset at the situation of us spending $600 and nothing was working on the car. Nothing. We had bought a lot of parts for that car and nothing was working at all. So we did not want to go back down that route of getting a car that was, you know what I'm saying, that was not worth anything, you know, because it was $1,500. But we did not want to buy, you know, the same car again, you know, and be out of a car once again, you know what I'm saying. So that right there was our main goal. And so the next main goal was getting something that can take us from point A to point B. You know, point C, point D, point F, point G, whatever. We wanted to get something that was going to do that, because we already knew that our Pontiac Fiero was going to do it. But now we needed another car that was going to end up doing the same thing. You know, when I had my Chrysler, you know, I was actually gifted that. You know, you know what I'm saying, I was going through Lower Greenville one night, and it was dark and rainy, couldn't see what was going on, got to the edge of the curve, ran the whole curve over, blew out both tires on the passenger side, and I also broke my axle. Broke all that. So I had to go and try to find somebody to fix all that. Fixed it, and it broke again. You know, so me and my wife did not really have a choice but to let it go. So we had let it go. We had got that money, and then another blessing had came from the good Lord, thank him, that, you know, to where we was actually able to find a really nice car. And so when we got this car, or when we was looking for this car, we did not just want anything. We wanted something that was going to be, you know, our car, you know. And so once again, if you have not watched my last video, you can actually go back and see that video on about this car and everything. And so that right there was our main goal. We wanted to make sure that this car was going to be right, on point. You know what I'm saying? You know, now if it had a few mishaps, it is a used car, don't get me wrong, you know what I'm saying, unless you gonna go out there and, you know, spin a bag on a used car that they got all the bells and whistles, you know what I'm saying. You know, right now, you know, it's all about surviving out here. You see, we out here in Texas, so, you know what I'm saying, so money, hey, money comes and goes out here, you know what I'm saying. And so it ain't like, you know what I'm saying, it ain't like you gonna it ain't like you are never gonna have no money, but at the same time too, you gotta spend your money wisely. That right there is the main deal, you know what I'm saying. And so that's why I like Texas, because they always got they you know what I'm saying, there ain't no other state like here, you know what I'm saying, because you can always find things, you can always, you know, find cars and things that you're looking for. You know, if you're looking to buy some wheels, you can always find wheels. Whatever you want to do, it's out here in Texas. It's out here in Dallas. You know what I mean? So yeah, but back to the point. But back to the story. Sorry about that. And so that right there was our main goal. Now, don't get me wrong. We was kind of looking at Dodge again before we had decided to go over to Ford. Now, y'all already know me, and for all my newer subscribers, if you don't know me, I'm a GM guy. I will always be I'm a diehard GM guy. I would never change that. I would never change that. That right there is not something that I would say, hey, you know, I would never do anything else. You know what I'm saying? I'm a diehard GM guy. But at the same time too, sometimes you have to get up out your comfort zone. You have to get up out your box. You have to try something different. You know what I'm saying? Because you don't know if you're gonna like it or not. And so I finally came out of my comfort zone and came out of my box. And so one day I was on Facebook Marketplace and I seen this ad keep popping up. Now, usually I don't click on the ads when you go look at Facebook Marketplace. I rarely click on the ads, rarely. And so with these ads, the main thing was I was really curious when it kept popping up. Auto Express, Auto Express, Auto Express, and that right there is what it's kept doing. And so I'm just like, okay, you know, let's see what's going on with it. So I looked on the website, and they was talking about, you know, Carfax. Now that right there is another thing you have to look out for whenever you get ready to do buying cars, or whenever you get ready to lease a car or something like that. You got to make sure you check out that Carfax, because the Carfax is going to tell you everything, you know. And if you're a really good person like me and my wife, we've already added a few things up on the Carfax since we had this car. You know what I'm saying? Which, once again, I'm going to reiterate what this car is. This is a 2011 Ford Fusion S. So this right here is a base model. You know what I'm saying? I don't really have no bells and whistles in this car, which in my opinion, that's all about to change. But, you know, and so I was just happy just to find a, you know, a nice reliable car, you know, for the money that we spend. Because me and my wife was scared of buying another used vehicle that was going to break down on us eventually. You know what I'm saying? And so, back to the story. Sorry about that, y'all. So, kept looking on there, and I looked on Auto Express for 4 months, y'all. 4 months. 4 months. And I kept looking, trying to see what the cars was looking at, because, you know, on their mileage is really good depending on what type of car you're looking for. Me, I was, you know, me and my wife, we was more so looking for Fords, or we was more so looking for Dodges, we were more so looking for Chevrolets. We weren't trying to go outside the box on that and trying to do everything else. We was trying to see if we could find that. And so once we found that, and once we found that website, we actually decided to go over there. So, you know what I'm saying? So, shout out to my brother-in-law for helping us do this. I really do appreciate you, man. So he took us over there. We went to go check it out, because I actually went over there in my Fiero the first time, just to go check out the lot, just to scan the lot, trying to see what type of cars that they had, things like that, just trying to make sure that, you know, this right is where I want to shop at. So get out, walk around, and I tell you, this is the best. When I say that this right here is the best, this right here is actually the best customer service I've had since buying the Sonic. which was like 2 to 3 years ago. No cap. And I tell you, it was just such amazement on how great this customer service was over at Auto Express. And that's why I always tell people about them, because, you know, they're willing to help you. You know, now this is not a buy here, pay here lot. This is actually a cash lot. So, you know what I'm saying? But they have some really nice cars up here, y'all. And y'all definitely, you know, if you're looking for a car, definitely go check them out. You know, definitely. They would help you find a car real nice. You know what I'm saying? They got all different types of cars. And so, went to go check them out the first time, just looking around, scoping, just trying to see on what I can find. Okay. Then I decided, okay, so me and my wife had looked back on the website again. We looked again, and then we ran across the Ford Fusions. So at the time, they had 6 Ford Fusions. They had 2 burgundies, like the color that I'm driving now. They had 2 of those. Then they had a wine color, like a wine color red. And then they had like I think they had like a gray one or something like that. It was like 4 or 5, maybe 6 that was up there. And so we was like, okay, you know, let's go check this out. So me and my wife, we had went back over there. Like I said before, shout out to my brother-in-law for taking us. Went over there, and man, we found the car, which was this one. It was $39.95. Now, like I was saying before, this car did have hail damage, and it did need an oil change. So those right there was like the 2 deterrents of me thinking, okay, should I really get this car? Because why this car beat up? It's not about that, y'all. And that's one thing people got to realize. It's not about how the car body look and all that, because things happen. It's about the owner. Have the owner taking care of the car. You know what I'm saying? Have the owner taking care of the transmission. Have the owner take care of the engine. That right there is the major deal. And if they didn't, get away. But if they have, and you see a Carfax and it's telling the truth and everything, you better jump on it, because it's gonna be hard to find another one like that. All right, y'all. So with that right there being said, I was just happy just to have this car. Now, when we bought this car had 116,000. I think it was like 679 miles. You know what I'm saying? And what the report was saying was that I'm guessing something had happened with the steering wheel, or something had happened with something, but it had got fixed. All your suspension parts and stuff had got fixed on the car. So we get in the car, things like that, and the first thing we had to fix was some more suspension parts. You know, and you know, and that right there was about $2,000. You know, but at the same time too, I wasn't really too upset, because, you know, once again, you buying a used car, so you cannot just expect everything to be brand new. Some things you just gonna have to do. You know what I'm saying? Some things you just gonna have to buy on your own. So sorry about that, y'all. But yeah, so we went to go take care of that and everything. And after that, it was love. It's been lovely. It's been running good, everything. You know, we got the oil change, stuff like that. All right, y'all. So now it's time to get down to the good stuff. Let's go. All right, y'all. So my future plans for this car is getting a screen put in. I really don't like this, you know, like this CD player look. I can care less for that. I don't really like all of these buttons and stuff. So I'm looking to get a screen put in, like a Bluetooth, Android slash, you know what I'm saying, slash like, you know, a DVD player or something like that. I'm planning on doing that. that's one of the mods I'm planning on doing on the inside. Another mod I'm actually planning on doing on the inside is putting some interior lights in here. Now I don't know about the headlight, you know what I'm saying? I don't know about the starlight ceiling and all. I don't know yet. I'm still debating. But as far as interior lights on the floor, stuff like that, I'm definitely planning on doing it. That's another mod that I'm planning on doing. Another mod that I'm planning on doing, because I know right now me and my wife had got some seat covers from Walmart, which has actually held up really well. Even though, you know, when we had went to Walmart to buy these seat covers, it was all pulled out the box and all that, but it actually has been really good. These right here are really comfortable seat covers. But what I'm planning on doing is getting some seat covers that says Ford on there, because I kind of want the theme to be all the way around as a Ford. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, steering wheel covers, stuff like that. I want all that stuff to say Ford on it. So that's another mod for the inside. Another mod for the inside that I'm planning on doing is I definitely would love to have a what I used to have. So I used to have a three-pronged I used to have like a three-pronged C charger in my car back in the day. And that right there was actually in the Cruise. So I'm actually planning on doing that again for this car. Some other mods is gonna be like really small, like it ain't gonna be nothing too crazy, you know, covering up my gear shifter selector, stuff like that, you know, covering up the middle console, things like that, you know, changing up the center console color and stuff, you know, the black and everything, and you know, and so some other stuff that I'm planning on doing on the outside of the car. Of course, you know, you won't always have to add rims to your car, so that's going to be something I'm going to be doing in the future. Just doing like some touching up on the car, you know, whatever hail damage is on the car, it's going to stay, you know, I can care less because it's not about that. I'm planning on adding some brake caliber covers on this car, which is black, because this car brakes are very, 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 very dirty. So definitely I am going to be adding that when I get ready to change the brakes. So that right there is going to be another upgrade I'm going to be doing on the outside. Probably in the future too, I probably will be adding under the car lights, things like that. You know, I ain't gonna go too crazy on it, but I'm gonna, you know what I'm saying, but I am gonna add a little twist to it. I do got the rain deflectors coming for the windows. I do have that coming soon. We are gonna be tinting up the windows. That's gonna be something else that I would want to do. And probably like something else that me and my wife was actually talking about is upgrading the mirrors to blinker mirrors. So then what can happen is, you know, whenever we're ready to get over, you know, my wife actually likes that. I do too. So you know what I'm saying? And so we're actually doing that as well. And that right there is pretty much it as far as upgrading, you know, on the outside / the inside, you know. And I just think the main thing is I just want to make sure that I put the car the way I want to. You know, as far as, you know, spending money wise and stuff, it's not even about spending the money, y'all. It's not always about the money. You know, it's always about trying to figure out how can you make it yours. That right there is the major deal. And so that right there is some of the future plans for this car, you know, and everything. And just stay tuned to my channel. You know, please like, comment, subscribe, and share. Please let everyone know about this channel, y'all. It's your boy 214 Fierro Guy, and I'm out.